Why would a 16-year-old Khloe Kardashian go on tour with P. Diddy?
I definitely was drinking at 16.
Yeah, Chloe was on tour with Post at 16.
I did not start drinking till later.
You were driving cars at 15.
Ever since Diddy's arrest, a lot of people have been talking about the Kardashians, specifically Kim and Kris. Now, I'm not saying don't focus on Kim and Kris, but from old episodes of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, the one that was closest to Diddy, it seems, was definitely Khloe. And why would a 16-year-old Khloe be on tour with Diddy? Khloe, from what we know, never sang, was never a singer or a dancer. So what was she doing on tour with him at 16 years old?
Diddy casually mentioned that he and Usher used to wake up together and wrestle when Usher was that young. Yeah, it's as unsettling as it sounds.
I mean, back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the frosted flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented.
Caused victims to engage in extended acts with male commercial workers that Combs referred to as, among other things,
the entertainment world is literally shaking right now because Romeo, yes, Lil Romeo, just dropped the most shocking bombshell about Nick Cannon. And trust me, this isn't your regular celebrity drama. Our beloved Romeo just exposed Nick Cannon, claiming he totally sold him out to Diddy. Can you believe it? I mean, we've all heard Romeo gushing about Nick being his brother and mentor for years, but honey, those sweet words have turned into some serious accusations of betrayal. Like, this is huge. Romeo is spilling all the tea about Nick's hidden agenda, suggesting that maybe, just maybe, Nick wasn't exactly the mentor we all thought he was. And let me tell you, this opens up a whole vault of secrets about Nick's relationships, his mysterious connections, and especially his super close bond with Diddy. Speaking of which, were they really just business partners, or was there something way more complicated happening behind those closed doors? Let me break this down for you. First, let's rewind to Lil Romeo's history with Nick Cannon. Back in the early 2000s, Nick was the moment. A child star who'd made it big. He knew everything about fame, the spotlight, all the ups and downs of being a young star. So when he started showing interest in Lil Romeo, everyone was like, "Aw, how sweet, he's just helping the next generation."
Blasting me about my shirt before this, that's all I'm saying.
I said he got a Normani shirt on. I said, is there something he wants to announce? Because we know
my favorite artist, man. Like
I bet she is.
I told you just a minute ago, if I was rocking a Tupac shirt, you wouldn't be saying anything.
I definitely wouldn't be thinking what I'm thinking if you had on a Tupac shirt.
I'm supporting women empowerment, you know?
Hey, all I'm just saying.
Around the world.
Girl, Normani. Hey. I'm just saying, if we saw Rome, is she wearing a Romeo shirt?
Look, man. This is my favorite artist.
I'm just
I don't know
saying,
what you try.
Normani and Romeo, that's a power couple. That's all I'm saying.
Let me tell you something though. Honestly, about Normani, she's one of my busiest friends,
right?
My more successful ones. When I send my Bible study notes to all my friends,
right?
She's one of the first ones.
You see how you flipped it on me?
Back to. That's all I'm saying though. So shout out to her for that.
So much more. I like to call him a family member, a brother, somebody's just been solid all the way through and through. Super talented, Romeo Miller.
Going on,
my guy.
You like my brother from another mother.
Real talk.
I mean, if you watched any interviews from back then, Romeo was literally singing Nick's praises. He wasn't just calling him a friend, no. Nick was someone Romeo looked up to, someone who supposedly understood all the pressure he was dealing with. And get this, Nick was opening all kinds of doors for Romeo, helping him score opportunities in both music and television. He was basically helping build Romeo's brand while growing his own empire. Everyone thought Nick was this amazing mentor figure, like a big brother, right? Well, honey, hold on to your seats because Romeo's finally sharing the full story, and let me tell you, there was so much more going on behind those perfectly polished Hollywood doors. So here's where it gets juicy. Apparently, Nick's guidance wasn't exactly what it seemed. Through Nick's influence, poor young Romeo found himself being introduced to a side of showbiz that most kids his age wouldn't even know existed. Nick was taking Romeo to these exclusive parties thrown by Diddy. And when I say exclusive, I mean exclusive. These weren't your regular red carpet events, if you know what I mean. Romeo, who was literally just a baby in the industry, was thrown into this wild environment without even understanding what he was walking into. And now he's saying these parties weren't just your average celebrity get-togethers. No ma'am. He was exposed to a world where literally nothing was off limits, where people lived without boundaries, and fame. Well, fame came with a pretty hefty price tag.
These days though, A-listers are distancing themselves from Combs and the horrific claims of what really went on after those parties behind closed doors.
Poor baby Romeo was just trying to find his place in Hollywood, and let me tell you, these experiences were intense. Sometimes even overwhelming. He recently opened up about feeling completely out of place and uncomfortable at these events, surrounded by adults who were doing things that, honestly, no child should have been exposed to. And it gets worse. Romeo's discomfort grew as he witnessed firsthand how people treated each other in these elite celebrity circles. Now, insider sources are spilling that some of these parties weren't just about popping bottles and taking selfies. Oh no, they were about power plays, control, and even pushing young stars into situations they weren't ready for. These weren't your regular parties, honey. These were where the real deals went down. A-listers meeting behind closed doors, making their secret alliances. For Romeo, all that Hollywood glitter started losing its shine real quick when he saw what fame really looked like up close.
Circle of elites they're rolling in. The first party took place over the Labor Day weekend on September 7, 1998 in East Hampton, New York. Diddy reportedly invited 200 people to a barbecue at his New Hampton home. The guest list was fairly diverse.
And now, hold on to your wigs because this tea is scalding. One of the witnesses in Diddy's legal drama, Courtney Burgess, just dropped some major bombshells about hidden tapes. When testifying before Combs' grand jury in New York, Burgess revealed something absolutely shocking. Apparently, there are 11 flash drives full of explicit tapes featuring well-known celebrities, and some were allegedly underage. But wait, it gets even more twisted. These tapes supposedly came from Kim Porter, yes, Diddy's ex and the mother of his children. According to Burgess, she handed over these flash drives to Diddy years ago in Atlanta.
How many seemed to be potentially minors?
2 to 3, possibly 3.
2 to 3.
Y'all, these tapes aren't just some random home videos. They allegedly document Diddy's questionable activities spanning 3 decades. And if that's true, chilly, these could be the smoking gun connecting him to all these shocking criminal allegations. And speaking of legal battles, 2 more young people have come forward with accusations against Combs. These new voices are adding to the mounting pile of claims about inappropriate behavior and exploitation of minors. Just last October 28th, 2 more lawsuits hit Diddy like a ton of bricks. The accusations? Using his star power to lure underage dreamers into his web, promising them fame in exchange for, well, you know. One plaintiff, and this breaks my heart, claims they were just 10 years old when Diddy allegedly assaulted them in a New York hotel room. They say he drank their drink, attacked them, and threatened them to keep quiet. The other case? A 17-year-old's nightmare during making the band auditions. The accusations are horrifying. Manipulation, assault, and acts with a bodyguard before being kicked off the show. The Texas firm handling these cases, led by Tony Busby, filed everything in New York Supreme Court, claiming this toxic pattern goes way back in Diddy's rise to fame.
That's bigger than Diddy. Is only one that I could come up with, and there's a few I could come up with. Will Smith, he's bigger than Diddy.
Now, Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, is adding fuel to this already blazing fire. He's saying those 8 tapes Courtney Burgess brought to court, that's just scratching the surface. And get this, when asked about who might be in these tapes, he dropped Nick Cannon's name.
That they used Combs' power and prestige to women to engage in prolonged acts with male sex workers. These are those infamous that we've talked about. And Combs allegedly directed.
Just when you thought this couldn't get messier, Romeo drops another bombshell about Nick and Diddy's relationship. Apparently, their connection went way deeper than just business. The word on the street? Their partnership had a much more personal side that Romeo only started understanding as he got older.
How to feel about that? When I was going through my stuff, someone that called, checked on me, stood by me, stood up for me, and I was like, what do I owe?
Well, what does that mean, stood by you, stood up for you?
Well, when no one else would protect me, or
whether it's
way before all of this information came out, and he felt like he always had to defend You know, he felt like he had to defend Diddy because Diddy looked out for him. Here's what he had to say when he was up here.
And honey, let me spill this piping hot tea. Nick and Diddy were thick as thieves, showing up together at these super exclusive invite-only parties. When Nick was asked about Diddy's video, his response was interesting. He said he didn't want to judge. Like, excuse me? Was he already in the know? Remember Orlando Brown's wild claims about Nick Cannon back in 2020? The ones that set social media on fire? While Nick brushed it off as a cry for help, people are looking at those claims differently now, connecting some seriously disturbing dots.
Oh, don't worry about Nick. Nick, okay, look, fine. Fine, okay? You want me to tell everybody? You want me to let everybody know what happened? Okay, fine. Nick, I let you suck my dick. Okay? Fine, I said, I let Nick suck my dick. And I liked it. It was okay, fine. Nick, you sucked my dick. But everybody knows you did it as a female. But Nick, you sucked my dick. I didn't want to say that, you know? Nick been sucking dick. Nick, you know you been sucking dick. Mush mouth motherfucker. You don't want me on wildin' out. Nick been sucking dick. Nick been, everybody in the world gonna be like, Nick been sucking Nick been.
Now, I know Orlando's had his struggles, but with everything coming out about Nick's ties to Diddy and these explosive allegations about how young artists were treated, well, people are wondering if Orlando's claims were just the tip of this very messy iceberg.
So, I was minding my own business the other day.
Oh, so was I.
And here comes Orlando Brown.
Man, what you do to that dude, man? What you do to my man? My boyfriend. Apparently. Allegedly.
He claimed that you originally gave the blue, 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 bop.
Yeah. We joke and laugh. And I wanted to joke and laugh with it so much more. But when you know that brother is truly in pain and crying out for help and really, I see when I look out like, oh, how did we abandon such a talented young dude? And now we're laughing at him.
And y'all, fans are now looking back at Romeo's subtle hints about Nick and the whole Hollywood scene with fresh eyes. Were these big names really mentoring young stars, or was something more sinister going on? Meanwhile, Diddy's clearing out his Instagram like there's no tomorrow. Is he trying to start fresh, or is this just damage control before more tea spills?
Brian like kissed you and stuff. I saw you guys on Ellen, and you were like
that
alive
happens all the time.
So even on set, he wasn't even trying to.
No,
like,
not on the set. He wasn't trying to kiss me, but after the set, he'll try to kiss me or.
Who knew that your husband was doing things to boys and did stuff to your son and you ain't do shit about it? Bilal told me everything.
But wait, the plot thickens because now Jaden Smith is stepping into this mess. And he's not just calling out Diddy, he's dragging his own father, Will Smith, into it too. The Karate Kid star apparently feels he was taken advantage of, and Jaguar Wright is backing up his claims.
You already know what's gonna happen. Don't front. We've been down there Will Smith.
Listen up, because this gets wild. Jaden didn't exactly have a normal childhood. I mean, how could he when he was thrust into the spotlight at just 7 years old in The Pursuit of Happiness? And despite that successful debut, things weren't exactly peachy behind the scenes. Everyone's been whispering about how Jaden's career mirrors his parents, and honey, that might not be a good thing. There have been rumors about Jaden being on the DL, and while he's never directly addressed his he's dropped plenty of hints. Remember that bombshell moment in 2018 when he called Tyler, the Creator, his boyfriend at Camp Flog Gnaw?
I just want to say Tyler, the Creator, is the best friend in the world, and I love him so fucking much. And I want to tell you guys something. I want to tell you, Tyler doesn't want to say, but Tyler's my motherfucking boyfriend, and he's been my motherfucking boyfriend my whole fucking life. Tyler, the Creator, is my fucking boyfriend. It's true. Also, the fire marshal said they're gonna shut us down. So if you could just step back a little bit, just a little bit, just so they don't shut us down or whatever. I don't know what that means. There's a lot of you. Tyler the Creator is my fucking boyfriend. Okay, if you take anything away from this fucking show, that's what you need to take away.
Tyler tried to wave it off, but Jaden wasn't having it. He went straight to Twitter and declared, "Tyler the Creator, I told everyone you can't deny it now." And let's not forget Tyler's own cryptic tweets about coming out and those suggestive lyrics about kissing white boys since 2004. But the tea gets even hotter with Justin Bieber in the mix. That Coachella 2024 video had everyone's jaws on the floor, Jaden grinding on Justin, who then planted a kiss on Jaden's cheek. And remember, they didn't know cameras were rolling.
Since there's a whatchamacallit, there's a distance in terms of affection shown between the general and his son.
Absolutely.
Is it like that at home or no?
Nah.
Nah,
really.
we're very affectionate.
But have you ever
We're very affectionate.
He tried to kiss me in the
Have you ever kissed your son on Thai television before?
You're not looking kiss
Can
my
you kiss your
son.
Thai on Thai
I
television?
can kiss my son. Jaden, come on.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
Oh my God, this is ridiculous.
Now, about Will Smith. Chili. The way he acts with Jaden on camera has people concerned. That kissing incident, so uncomfortable to watch. And did you see how Jaden literally tries to avoid him during their Ellen Show interview?
Him, Ellen. I love him. I do. No, you know, it's I think when you have kids and you love them and you're proud of them, you just want to kiss them in the...
One fan hit the nail on the head. There's a fine line between playful affection and violating a person. And the hypocrisy? Look how Will acts when someone turns the tables.
Jada Pinkett, really gonna listen. How about worry about your daughter being naked in bed at 13 with her 20-year-old boyfriend on the internet? How worry about that? How about worry about your fucking cheating husband fucking my male dancers, when they didn't want to? How about talk about...
But here's where it gets dark. Apparently, Will's not so different from Diddy. Word on the street is he's been forcing young men into situations they're not comfortable with. And these two men, they've always been suspiciously close. Remember when Diddy played Peacemaker after Will's Oscar slap?
Know that this year was going to be the most exciting Oscars ever. Okay, Will and Chris, we're going to solve that like family at the gold party. Okay? But right now we're moving on with love. Everybody make some noise. You know, shit happens sometimes. My nigga Chris Rock got a chin though. I know ain't nobody even not thinking what I'm thinking. He got a chin. Yeah.
Oh, and let's spill this tea. Remember that rumor about Diddy almost throwing hands because Will and Jada wanted to with Jennifer Lopez? This was when J-Lo was still Diddy's girl. According to his former bodyguard, this wild proposition happened right at their table.
He said to me, he said, yo, I think Will and Jada is trying to scoop up Jennifer. I want you to stay close, because I'm a snub.
Diddy tried to shut these rumors down on Jimmy Kimmel, but honey, his response was about as convincing as a $3 bill.
Love. I saw a guy on the internet the other day who said he used to be your security guard, who said that when you were dating J-Lo, Will Smith and Jada tried to pick her up on a threesome and you were gonna beat up Will Smith. Is that true?
Yo, this show has gotten crazier since the last time I ever
Even with all that drama, somehow Will and Diddy stayed tight. I mean, why else would Diddy jump up to play Peacemaker at the Oscars? They must have some pretty deep secrets in common, if you catch my drift. You don't just drink with anybody in Hollywood. There's always something deeper brewing.
I never slapped Chris. I'm not watching the movie.
Damn it.
It's not happening.
You don't understand. Do you understand why he slapped Chris? Did you see in that moment from probably what he was dealing with?
What was he dealing with?
I don't know.
What the he dealing with?
Something made him slap his
No,
brother, man.
something didn't make him snap anything. He laughed at that badass joke that Chris said like everybody else. And then Jada looked at him and it was like the Manchurian Candidate.
Not the Manchurian. Not the Manchurian. God damn it.
That's happened.
I thought there's a legion of women who said, I'm glad for Will fighting for his woman.
Yeah, because they still want to believe that that sham of marriage is real.
there you go.
He ain't never gonna be Tupac, and she proved it when she August Alsina.
Ooh, man. Yeah.
They're both bisexual, they do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills. Bashir Gray. Left that house screaming. August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed a dog.
Oh, and y'all, Jaguar Wright just added another layer to this mess by putting Jaden on the list of boys who might have been victimized by Will. The plot just keeps getting thicker.
Child. Yes, he did. Wonder why he left that out of his Tasha K interview.
Yeah, in that interview, he said a lot. He said
everything but the thing that was important. That he know that Will Smith raped Jaden, he raped Bashir, and he raped Meek Mills, and you know it, Bilal.
But wait, there's more. A blind item just dropped about Bryshire Gray being forced into inappropriate situations by both Diddy and Will Smith. And honey, he's not playing. He's planning to sue them for $50 million. Yes, the same Bryshire who played Hakeem on Empire. Apparently, it all started with talent manager Charlie Mack introducing Bryshire to Will. Will took a shine to him and started opening doors. But the biggest door led straight to Diddy since Bryshire wanted to be a rapper. That's when things allegedly got dark. Both men reportedly forced him into situations, dangling promises of success that never materialized. When Bryshire finally walked away, they supposedly blackballed him from the industry.
Have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills. Bashir Gray.
And just when you think you've heard it all, the Dwayne Martin allegations pop up. Brother Bilal, who worked for Will in the late 90s, spilled some major tea during his interview with Tasha K.
You want to talk about? He said, mushrooms.
Yeah. Yeah.
The magic kind, of course.
Yeah, right now is such an interesting time because these studies just about mushrooms in general are coming out. That's what really sparked my interest. It started as pure curiosity.
Yeah.
Not believing that mushrooms could actually like make you feel any type of way.
Because we have them for dinner.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And I had an experience, and during that experience, I understood what ego was for the first time. It was always in my head talking, telling me what I was and what I wasn't, and for the first time, I had like a ego.
Looking at all this, it's no wonder Jaden's struggling with mental health issues. The poor thing's been through so much trauma thanks to his parents. And with his dad bringing someone like Diddy into their lives, chilly, the fans aren't having it anymore. One person commented, "I could see it on his face. He wasn't with the life his parents created for him." Another fan blamed Will directly. Will Smith could solve all his and his family's problems, including his wife's insanity, by doing the one thing he's too afraid to do, being a real father and enforcing boundaries. But what do you think about all this drama? Has Jaden been scarred for life by his parents? Is he really on the DL? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because this tea is too hot to handle alone. Too hot to handle alone.